This is an emergency broadcast with very little notice. I literally just set up the event. It's a couple minutes to 5. It's Sunday, July 5th on the East Coast, and we shall see what we shall see. And let me pull this up. Okay. It looks good. Okay, it looks good. And Lance is in the house. The Lancer is in the house early. He was in at 4:56 p.m., right when I created this event. I mean, that's pretty much right when the event was created. Don't know how you pulled that off, Lance. You must have that bell really, really clicked in those notifications. This fabric in this Oxford suit has a fine pattern to it, so you are going to get some moire. See that moire on the sleeve? Get a little close up here of the stunner, and you can see the fabric in this suit. Pretty amazing. And by the way, when I had this suit made, I actually had the jacket made a little bit longer than normal. Normally you cup your hand like this, and the bottom of the jacket is right in there. And I had this one made a little bit longer, because I kind of like the longer jacket. And of course now the style is everybody's wearing these super short jackets. So it makes this one really stand out. And I think it looks a lot better, to tell you the truth, to have actually a slightly longer jacket. So it's, as is normal on this channel, we kind of go our own direction a little bit on this channel. We stay a little bit away from the madding crowd, from the crowds out there. Eduardo's in the house, and I think he kind of goes his own direction a little bit sometimes too. David's in the house, and he's out there in Las Vegas where anything goes. And we'll see what we've got here. We've got a special emergency broadcast. Same friend of mine. Smart guy. You know, this is what's kind of amazing, is some of these people are pretty smart people, but I don't know, they just make some marginal decisions sometimes. And so, yeah, I mean, he's the one I told you about the other day that goes through desk chairs. Like once a year, one of his cheap desk chairs fall apart and he has to buy another one. And I said, why don't you get a nice desk chair and be done with it? And he's got back problems. He's always complains about the back problems, right? So cheap desk chair, back problems, you know, you figure it out. And now he's talking about, you know, he loves to buy his khakis. I didn't even know they sold khakis at Costco, and his shirts. He buys those button-down Oxford blend, cotton and polyester blend shirts that are so at best, right? They don't look that great. You can tell they're cheap shirts just by looking at them. And so I was trying to give him some advice. He won't listen. And of course, he didn't buy Bitcoin. I told him to buy Bitcoin way back when it was $30 a coin. $30. I said, Dan, just buy 10 of them. $300. Just buy 10 Bitcoin and set them aside somewhere. Oh, no, yeah, that's a Ponzi scheme, all this stuff. Then I told him again when it was $1,250. I said, listen, hey, you know, here we are a couple years later. It went from $30. It's at $1,250 now. Why don't you go ahead and just get one? So you'll at least have one Bitcoin. Oh, no, I can't. Yeah. Then when it was $4,000, I said, Dan, this could be your last chance to buy a Bitcoin under $5,000. Why don't you go ahead and grab one while you can? He hemmed and hawed. He still doesn't own one Bitcoin. Doesn't own one single solitary Bitcoin. Doesn't own any. He's a no-coiner. We call them no-coiners. Triforce Rich is in the house. He says, up, Paul. Watch is finally found. Found a local guy with the Bond Spectra watch and cash talks. Meeting up with him tomorrow. Size problem solved, so no more JC. Size problem solved, so no more JC. What does that mean? What does this mean? Good evening, Craig, and all good advice about jackets. Stig in the house. Eduardo's in the house. Haha. What do you mean I go my own direction? Please elaborate. Well, I mean, you've got some cool stuff. You don't go with the madding crowd. Do you do a lot of shopping at Walmart? Let me know in the chat. I'll stand corrected. Is Walmart your favorite store to shop at? Because that's where the average normal people shop, right? The vast majority of the people, that's where they shop. Why do you think it's huge? Leon's in the house. I sold my last Grand Seiko. Ended up buying a Speedmaster Moonwatch. Ooh. Ooh, that's kind of a step down. It's kind of a step down. Piotr, I can't pronounce his name. If everyone would be so clever, would be more difficult. That is my wife saying. There you go. You got a good point on there. Yeah, Leon, a great watch, Moonwatch. Okay. Some Moonwatch fans in the house. Lance is in the house. Did you get the sapphire crystal or the acrylic crystal Speedmaster? I have original. David's in the house. Good news at Tri-First Rich. Hope you are able to reach agreement on the Omega. Well, yeah, if he's dealing with cash money, he's got a good shot at it. Leon's in the house. I bought a cheap desk chair about 12 years ago. It is still going strong today. Leon in the house. Well, yeah, as long as it's comfortable and it's getting the job done, there you go. Tri-First Rich. Price already agreed, David. I refused to budge and got the price I wanted. He serviced it last year. Wait, which watch are you getting? I thought you're getting the new Bond watch, Triforce Rich. Or am I confusing you with somebody else? Who was it that wanted to buy the Bond watch? I thought it was you. Okay. JC is James Cameron. The Spectre Bond watch is 41 millimeter. Yeah, I would definitely pass on the Cameron. Absolutely. You can look it up. Okay. Craig, good saying. Call me Peter. Peter, there you go. Let's see. Eduardo's in the house. Oh my, Walmart would be Old Navy for T-shirts. Most of my button-ups come from a family-owned fine dress shirt. A town over from where I am, the button-ups are priced at $100 Canadian. Well, there you go. They're probably good ones. So yeah, it sounds like you do not go with the matting crowd. It sounds like you go for the good stuff. Cheetown's in the house. Hi, Craig. Just finishing up my push-ups today. Whoa, there you go. Well, now, see, I do my push-ups on even days. This is arm day. On odd days, I do the arms. And Bree is on the same schedule. On odd days, she does arms. On even days, she does push-ups. So there you go. That's how we do it. How many sets are you doing, and how many reps are you doing each set? Do tell. Carlos is in the house. He says, hello, Craig and all. Tri-First Rich. No, I like the old Bond watch better. I was thinking of the new one, but wanted the old one more. Okay, there you go. I hear you. I like the old ones. I like the original one, to tell you the truth. And it's quartz, by the way. Let's see here. Jason's in the house. And Peter says hello to Carlos. Look up Omega Bond Spectra Seamaster. Please, Tri-First Rich, send me a link so I can just click on it. Make things easy. Make things easy for me. Lance will do it. Lance sent a photo. Okay, better value on the old Spectra watch. Okay, all right. Let's pull this up. Lance probably he sent something. Maybe he sent a Spectra. If you didn't, Lance, send a Spectra also. Lance is on top of things, okay? At least somebody's on top of things around here. Okay, he sent a Oyster Quartz Date 8. Let's take a look at this. When it loads in, I will cut to it. I will not forget to cut to it. Yeah, I remember when these were brand new. I remember when they were selling them brand new. And I just didn't like the integral bracelets. I just am not a fan of the whole case design. It, to me, is just a fail. I mean, some people like them, but Yeah. It's an unusual piece. I will grant it that. And I'll tell you, you'd probably have less of a servicing issue on it. I wonder how thick that watch is. I wonder how thick it is, or how thin. Okay, let's see here. I don't think is a step down. I got tired of GS. Odd lug shape, no micro adjustment, overpriced, odd lug size straps. I like the history behind GS, but in person, I'm not a fan of owning one. Leon, well, you probably didn't find the right model, Leon. You probably didn't find the right model, because they do make some funky watches. I will grant you that. You got to get the right one. But I'll tell you what, those right there, between those two, they're both stunners. Absolute stunners. And of course, there's the 002 that's on wrist. The 002 is an absolute beast, an absolute stunner. I've got it all the way down, fully exposed right now. Fully exposed. Well, it's, yeah, absolutely fully exposed. And let's see here. Let's see. Triforce Rich says, yeah, David, comes with so many extras and is cheaper. The movement is better as well. Has the jumping hour movement with higher power reserve. There you go. Hello, Carlos. How are you and your Doxa doing in the old world? Does he have the Doxa with him? I got the Omega Speedmaster Pro Black Dial latest edition and love it. Jason's in the house. How are red looks in real okay. Well done, great girl. Okay, Tim's in the house. Carlos, are you able to Skype in today or still jet lagged? It would be great to see you in Madrid. Great value. Absolutely, I second that. Great value watch, Jason. Carlos says, I noticed on ADs they do not recognize the Doxa. Okay. Williams watches. Good evening, Craig and all. Okay. And congrats to Ron. Let's see. GS details matter. Yes, absolutely. Carlos, is your Doxa the 300T like Rich Buddies? I can join if Craig wants. Absolutely. You're always welcome, Carlos. Lance is in the house. He says, sent the link to the Omega Triforce. Okay. All right, let's pull this up. Let's pull this up before Carlos calls in so we can show this puppy off. Here we go. So there she blows. There she blows. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. A lot of money, though. $10,000. That's a lot of money. I think I'd buy a 231 and call it a day. I think I'd buy that 231 and call it a day. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Rich is a limited edition. I think he has different glass and class, but it's pretty much the same. Leon, the trouble for me with the 005 is that is 19 millimeter lugged. I hate the bracelet. Okay, we'll get back to that. Let me get my headset on here. And Carlos is in the dark, it looks like. Carlos is in the dark. Okay.
Yeah, I am in the dark.
Is it?
In the darkness.
What time is it there?
Now is 10 past 11 at night.
10 past 11 at night. Okay.
Yeah.
And what timepieces did you take with you? Did you bring with you?
No, I only brought the Doxa.
Okay.
because this time, because this thing of the virus, I am not going to my parents' basement.
Okay.
then we rented a house, and it's a not controlled place, and
Yeah.
also we are planning to be moving around Europe and different places, and to be a lot of time or some time on a boat, and I think that Toxa will be great for that.
Yeah. Okay. Um, and so Leon was saying that the 005, he doesn't like the 19 millimeter width. Let's see. But I'll tell you, HDstraps.com can make all kinds of great 19 millimeter wide straps. I'll tell you, they're good. Williams Watches is in the house. And at Carlos, I love the 300T Caribbean dial. Let's see. Peter says AD is just normal sellers, not fans of watches. Uh, Carlos, you said Caribbean is very nice with the orange minutes hand. Williams watches the blue COVID banner at the top of Chrono 24 is not doing my OCD any good these days. Leon's in the house. Carlos are hunkered down due to uh, Carlos are hunkered down due to COVID. No, no, you're out and about, right? You're
Yeah, yeah.
you're out and about. You're not restricted in any way. Triforce Rich is in the house. Didn't cost too much. LOL. I'm not worthy of the 231, Craig. I wore that watch. I'd give up on all other watches if I bought the 002. Yeah, that's what you should do. Is just buy the 002 and be done with it. I'd learn the meaning of life. I'm not ready. Okay. Salty Paul says, sounded like the ice cream van just arrived. Oh, that's because of the ringing on the Skype. Okay. Carlos, do you feel safe wearing the Doxa around Madrid?
No, and around Madrid, I feel safe with any watch. I
Okay.
used to hear my date, and I didn't have any kind of issue about that.
Okay.
Madrid actually is a very
Mm-hmm.
safe city so far. Yeah,
Okay. Eh,
I would not be, especially maybe with a color gold and wearing short sleeve on
mhm.
difficult places. Yeah, but Madrid is very safe city.
Good, good. And Leon asked about, are you in the basement with chips and a tutor? No, I don't think he's in the basement. And I don't think he has any potato chips with him. Do you have any potato chips handy?
Uh, well, in fact, yes,
Oh, you
we
do?
have potato chips
Okay,
around.
well, there you go. He does have potato chips, but he has a Doxa, not a tutor. And I would definitely prefer a Doxa over a tutor. That's not even a
And
close call.
currently we are in a basement. We are in an attic.
Okay,
Yeah. By the way, we rented a very nice apartment in a very nice area of Madrid.
good, good, good. And let's see. And Ron says, in bright sunlight, it shines a deep crimson red, while in the shade, it shines a, I think he meant warm brown with red hues. Loving it. Ron, talking about his watch, I guess. Truffers Rich David, your Planet Ocean is awesome, though. I'm shocked the price hasn't gone higher on that. Guess the sheep don't like Omega. There you go. And Kyle's in the house. He says, hey, Craig. Hey, guys. And Lance is saying hello to him. And Carlos, which watches did you bring? We already talked about that. Okay. He's got the Doxa. And how is everyone? Kyle is asking. And okay. So, so is there anything interesting that you can show us while we've got you, Carlos?
Nothing especially. A street in Madrid from the terrace that we are.
Oh, okay. That's
This
good.
this
That's
is a street in Madrid. This is the street is called Velázquez. This is the heart of the Barrio Salamanca. It's a very nice area.
so.
In
Is that
fact,
a
uh,
balcony that you've got there?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, balcony. Yes, a little balcony that we
Okay.
have. That is, yeah, we have a small balcony here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a two-room apartment that is
Yeah.
perfect as
Yeah. Show
they
us
could
out. Show
manage.
us outside one more time. Show us up and down the street.
There are this area is the area where the let's say upscale streets are in Madrid. In fact, one of the biggest. what shops in Spain and maybe in Europe are very close by.
Hmm.
And you can see that there, considering that it's Sunday late, there is quite activity
Now,
in Madrid.
do they have a Grand Seiko AD in Madrid?
Yes, 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 very, very close by. It's not a boutique.
Can you check and
But it,
see when you get a chance, if you have time while you're on your trip? Can you check and see what their inventory's like?
yeah.
Okay.
Probably tomorrow I will walk around. In fact, it's very nearby. It's like 2 blocks from here.
If you get a chance to take any pictures, maybe you could send them to me and I can show them on the next show.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Great. Great.
Okay.
I visit one very very big AD that we have here that is multi-brand.
Mm-hmm.
That is Rabat, like the Morocco capital. That
Okay.
is big, really big. They have big brands like they have Rolex, they have FP Jorn. That is the place where I took that photo. They have Breguet. They have very big brands. And this in fact they grown. They have bigger store. They have moved to a bigger place.
Okay,
And
so
yeah,
Triforce Rich asked me, he said, Craig, if Tudor wanted you to be a brand ambassador at $100,000 a year and you can only wear their watches, do you take the deal? Well, it would depend on what I would need to do for the 100K a year. That would depend. That yeah, I would talk to them absolutely. 100K a year, depending on what they wanted me to do. It wouldn't be a lot. I wouldn't do a lot for 100K. Uh, I've got other things to do. But yeah, if they offered me money, I would wear. I'd grin and bear it. I'd wear a Tudor. Let's see. And Triforce Rich says, I think I might buy. Now, I wouldn't give bad advice to my subscribers. I wouldn't tell them to buy it if I didn't like it. But yeah, I'd wear it. So they probably wouldn't take that deal. They would probably want me to lie. And I'm not going to lie. Let's see. So I think I might buy a Doxa to dive with in the future. It's a true diver, and I love Carlos, says Triforce Rich. There you go. So Carlos, you've influenced. You've influenced people. They're starting to buy Doxas.
no,
Uh,
it's really a nice watch,
yeah,
and especially the yeah part of the watch. If you like the shape size that on the beginning, at least for me, was a bit strange. If you like the bright colors, and what is really good is the
and
bracelet.
and
Bracelet and
Triforce Rich clarified, and he said, I'd need to do photo shoots and promote the brand like you do GS. No, I couldn't do that because I don't. I like the GS watches. I don't like the Tudor. So no, I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to do that. Unfortunately, yeah, that would not work out. Because the other thing is, if you're not sincerely, if you don't really like something, people can tell. It will come through. It will. You can't fake it that long. At least I can't, and I don't think most people can. I think most people would be. It would not hold up well if you were trying to fake it for a year period of time. I think that they could see through that a little bit. Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much for checking in and giving us the update, Carlos.
yeah, I will be reporting on different places
Perfect, perfect,
in yeah. I expect to be this Thursday in Geneva.
perfect,
Yeah,
perfect,
yeah.
perfect. And we
I
will
can.
have, and we'll show your any photos that you send us along the way. We'll have them ready to show during the show also.
Okay,
Perfect.
okay.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you very much, and see you. Bye
Enjoy,
bye.
enjoy. There you go, Carlos, out and about, making things happen. That's the way it is. That's the way it is, making things happen. I am going to take this jacket off because it's a little bit too warm to be wearing a jacket. Give me a moment. Okay. Okay. There we go. Settle in here a little bit. And I'm wearing another shirt that's rather full to kind of troll the folks that like the super tight shirts. I have others that are a little more full than this one, though. Some of the Brooks Brothers ones are even more full. This is a Gitman Brothers. Gitman Brothers out of Philadelphia, out of Pennsylvania. I don't know if they're in Philadelphia or where they are. They're in Pennsylvania. Okay, let's see here. Just check. Try for switch. Carlos's Dokes is $1,869. Honestly, that's a steal for that watch. There you go. Absolutely. Beckham used to give money for charity to get title in UK. Okay. Let's see. There is also the Jenny Caribbean, which was one of the first dive watch companies and is now owned by Dokes SA. Make mine a Doxa 1000 foot. Okay, let's see. Carlos is a mover and a shaker. Absolutely. And I love wine, but I'm not a great fan of sangria. Okay. Jason's in the house. Triforce, so true about Beckham. They should end that contract, not doing the brand any good. Craig, why you so elegant today on Sunday? Did you go to church today? No, I didn't. I did go and have a little lunch with a colleague today. But no, I did not go to church. I'm not going to lie. Say I went to church. Yes, it's broke on the first week, unfortunately, because I really love that watch. Look, let's see here. Carlos did the main. By the way, I didn't know if I was going to be back in time to do the show. I literally got back and scheduled the show at the last minute. And I did the shortcut. I used a previous event, and you can just save everything and then just rename it, right? I just renamed it Part 2. And so I was able to very quickly create the event and then go live. So that's how that works. Let's see. Carlos, did the mainspring break and the crown didn't wind correctly? We'll see what he answers to that. David's in the house. Try for switch. The PO is a classic. I can confirm from pool activities yesterday at least 3 meter water resistance. Only 597 meters more to verify. There you go. R. Wags is in the house. Sorry, Craig, a little late, but in the house. Hi, everyone. No worries. So, what do you think, R. Wags? What's going to happen in the market this week coming up? What are we going to see in the market this week? I'm actually starting to hear from more and more small businesses that are really hurting. I'm starting to hear some things. So it's going to be very interesting. I don't think we're out of the woods yet, especially the small guys, the small owner-operator businesses. A lot of them are hurting. Okay, Triforce Rich. Steve should become a Doxa AD if possible. We should talk to Steve about that. I think he could sell hundreds of those things through the promotion we do in this community. Probably so. Let's see. Especially with Carlos's torture tests that he does. Jason's in the house. So true. The same with me and my SMP 300. Let's see here. Mr. Q. Hello, gentlemen. Stone Mountain events were just too juicy not to watch. Okay. Let's see. Leslie's in the house. And by the way, they canceled the Thurmont Parade and the Fireman's Carnival. It's gonzo, canceled. It was supposed to happen this following week, and that's done for. So we're losing events left and right here in Frederick County. Let's see. And Leslie says, hey, Craig, have you heard of Pastor Steven Anderson? No, I haven't. Should I check out Pastor Steven Anderson? Let's see. Bunch of people saying hello back and forth. And let's see, Carlos is in the house. He says, no idea what happened. It just stopped. I had a strange feeling the first time. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I still have to return the watch to Steve. He is giving a great service on this. Okay, R-Wags. Hi, David Williams. It must be hot in Las Vegas, and it's 90 here in the Midwest. It's been warm here the last couple of days, but I've still gotten out and gotten some walks in. Triforce Rich, the guy I am buying my watch, told me he's selling the watch because his business has been devastated by COVID. The stock market isn't reflecting reality, which is scary. Well, yeah, I think a lot of the businesses on the stock market have been bailed out, right? I guess that's the deal there. And the little guys are not being bailed out. The little tiny guys, they're not getting enough of a bailout, I'll put it that way. And some of them aren't good at doing the paperwork and all that kind of stuff. They're good old boys working out of their truck, right? They don't know how to get the PPP money and all of that stuff. I mean, they're really taking it on the chin, some of those folks. Hard-working folks. Let's see. Sounds like a typical problem that Zodiacs have with the STP movements. Problem begins at the crown and mainspring. Okay. David Williams, typical summer. Not too bad, though. And the lovely Bree Fit Dance is in the house. Hi, all. Bree Fit Dance. By the way, lovely Bree, if you're still in here, I think you should go to a split workout schedule. I think you should do 2 1-hour workouts every day. 2 intense 1-hour workouts every day. Instead of one like 2-hour workout, 2 hours long. Do 1-hour workout maybe in the morning, and then maybe later in the afternoon or whatever, do another 1-hour intense workout. I think you'll get more progress if you split it up that way. R. Wags is now, Carlos, I hope you have a good time in Spain. He just called in, R. Wags. You missed his call in, but he's going to be giving us reports throughout the week of his travels there. Let's see. Lance says, hi, Blue, R. Wags, Leslie, and Bree. Cheetown, no fireworks in San Diego County either, but my neighborhoods took the initiative. My neighbors took the initiative. Yeah, we got a bunch of people around here taking the initiative, too. The market is like the virus. Having a second wave for the virus could be a second wave down for the stock market. Tim in the house. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Let's see here. Now, so far, knock on wood, the death totals are still like in the 600s. I think it was like 650 yesterday. So the daily death total has been pretty stable, anywhere from like 400 to 800 a day, in that range for the last several weeks. So we haven't seen a spike there yet. Keyword being yet. We'll see what happens. But so far, so good there. Hey, the more people that get this thing and get over it, the better. The closer we get to herd immunity, right? Let's see. I would live to see how the liberals are going to take that monument Stone Mountain down. It took 50 years to make it, and it's impervious to sandblasting. Okay. Leon's in the house. Hell yes, I keep my neighbors up for a few hours with my stockpile of fireworks. Mr. Q, I'm waiting for the watch market to allow me to scoop 2 Rolexes and a GS for under 10K. Then I'll know the market is right. Hey, that's right. Sit on the sidelines with some cash and wait until there's real blood in the street. That's absolutely the time to buy. When everybody else is in a state of total panic. I still have a lot of cash on the sidelines. I'm waiting. I'm patient. Triforce Rich. I'm a classically liberal guy, which means I am true conservative that believes in capitalism, not this crony capitalism that favors mega corporations. Democrats get just as much corporate money. Yeah, that's why the only thing that can solve all of that is Bitcoin. That's the only thing that'll solve all that is Bitcoin. Take away their money. That'll solve that problem. Let's see. Bond Spectra watch looks great. Even Chip Wong would approve it as a proper watch. Okay. And Bree says sounds good. And Leslie says, hey, Carlos and Lance. I wonder what Leslie's workout regimen is. I wonder what her workout regimen is. I bet it's a good one. I bet it's a good one. Triforce Rich is in the house. Carlos, I'm sure he and James Bond could relate as both having full-time, as both being full-time womanizers. Well, there you go. All right, Craig, I think the market is in a trading range 23 to 26 currently. Don't see it going any higher or much lower. If the market starts to believe that Biden will win, then the market will drop. Okay. Okay. And you've heard about Mr. West saying that he might run for the presidency. That would be great if he does that. And if Trump helps him with some money so he can advertise in the swing states and pull away a bunch of Democratic voters, right? That would really screw Biden big time, right? That might happen, and that'll be funny. Yeah, if they're working together. Let's see. Mr. Q says, Leon, it was a not so great show. Okay. Let's see. And Brief Fit Dance, who watched the fireworks? I watched them last night from my backyard. Well, there you go. Well done, Bree. I didn't watch any. I heard a few off in the distance. I heard a few. And Jason's in the house. Believe we have the same view on politics and capitalism, the same issues up here in Canada. Carlos is in the house. I've heard Chip Wong is a bit tired after so many ladies and changing his life in that respect. Okay, well, there you go. Absolutely, positively. Being a little bit conservative in that area is not a bad move. So let me think what else. Let's go through. I'm going to go through the tabs here and make sure that we're up to date. Oh, let me show the Lovely Bree's website while we can. The Lovely Bree. You go to briefitdance.com. That's all you do. It's not complicated. You go to briefitdance.com, and if you scroll down a little bit, you will find an area where it has all her social media links, and it has ways that you can donate to the cause so that she can continue to create content and be an entrepreneur, and you can help this young lady get her career going. So there you go. Let's see here. And again, Triforce Rich is laughing out loud at that one. Leslie's in the house. She says, I have a Gold's Gym membership. I go to the one in Venice Beach, which is the first Gold's Gym ever made. Whoa. Okay. That's the one where did Arnold work out there? But I normally go 5 days a week for 2 hours in the morning. Whoa. There you go. Well, now you can see, you understand why that young lady's in shape. It isn't accidental, you know. These people make moves, right? They take care of themselves. They eat right. They exercise. They get out. They get fresh air. And guess what? They're doing good. They're healthy and they're doing good. Imagine how that whole thing works out. RWAGs, there is not a statistical difference between the total death rate in the U.S. in the first part of the 2019 and the first part of 2020. There should be an increase of 125,000 due to COVID-19. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. It's the same people that are dying that would have died anyway, right? They're in nursing homes. They're in pretty bad shape. I mean, they would have probably died anyway. And also a lot of deaths that are from like heart attacks or whatever that, again, would have died anyway are being classified as COVID because the money, follow the money, right? The hospitals are getting money for every classification. That's how that works. Lance said, sent a photo of a gold stunner. Lance sent a photo of a gold stunner. Imagine that. Imagine that. We'll pull this puppy up. While that's pulling up, let's give you a time check because we can do that. We can do that on the channel. Okay. It's a Movado. A Movado. You know, that's a good-looking case. That's a good-looking case. I'm really not... Oh, it's sold. I'm really not a Movado fan, but it's not a hateful looking watch. Not a hateful looking watch. As usual, Lance is coming through with some unusual pieces. Let's see here. Oh, Craig, for a woman, Rolex gold or Cartier gold? No quartz, she says. I'll tell you though, a gold stunner for a lady, it's not. I would talk to her about the quartz thing because it's really not a bad idea to have quartz for a lady because sometimes they don't want to wear them every day. And that way she doesn't have to worry about it stopping. If she buys an automatic wine watch, she really should be wearing it every day. Now, if she's comfortable with that, if she's not one where she wants to change styles and all that, and she's going to wear it every day, then absolutely get something that is auto wined. And I mean, I don't think you can go wrong one bit with a Rolex, a lady date Rolex, and solid gold. That would be the way I would go. That's what I bought for my ex-wife back in the day, a solid gold lady date with a president bracelet. She loved it. And that one did have diamonds on it. Got that the same time that I got my 18238 in early 2000. Around it was around March, April, something like that. Maybe it was May, early 2000. We bought those watches, both of them from the same AD at the same time. Let's see. Craig, remind you of at Brief Fit Stance. Does Craig remind you of at James Bond? They both dress well. Are womanizers, carry deadly weapons, Scottish ancestry fit, etc. There you go. Yeah. Those days are probably behind me, though, unfortunately. There you go. Eduardo's in the house. Do you leave all your watches at home in a watch roll or something, or do you leave them in the bank? Well, wait, are you asking me? My watches are right here. That's all I have is those two right there, and this one, this 002 right here. Take a close-up of the 002 Stunner. I don't have safe watches. I don't have box watches. I buy my watches to wear, to absolutely wear. I would bet on Craig versus James Bond on a knife fight, says Carlos. Wow, and Bree says, wow, didn't think of it, but yes, at Triforce Rich. Health is wealth, says Leslie. And what amazes me about this whole thing is this should be a wake-up call for a lot of these people that have not been taking care of themselves, these people that are way overweight, that have not been exercising, have not been eating right, have been doing a lot of things wrong, that put them at risk. These things put them at risk for this virus. This should be a huge wake-up call where people should be, taking their health seriously, right? But you still see them lining up at McDonald's to get, at the drive-through to get McDonald's and everything. You still see them doing all the same stupid things. It hasn't been a wake-up call at all for most of them. It's a damn shame that they don't understand that, Leslie. What is so hard to understand that you should eat right and exercise, get good rest, hang around with people that are not total losers, do a few of these things right. I think that's the thing. Do a few of these things right. And our WAG says Lance is working overtime on his watch reporting. Triforce Rich says, funny enough, Bree kind of looks like the Bond girl from Skyfall. Bree could definitely be a Bond girl. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Bree could definitely be a Bond girl. No doubt about it. So could Leslie, by the way. Leslie would make a great Bond girl. They should both be in a Bond flick. He sometimes has multiple girls in the same movie, right? So there you go. And Leslie says, Craig, Kyle just emailed you a picture. Okay, well, yeah, we'll get to that picture. We will get to that picture. It's not here yet, but hopefully it will come. Sometimes it takes a little bit. We'll give it a minute. We'll give it a minute to come in. I will switch to it. I will switch to it when it comes in. Eduardo says at Lance looks kind of like Patek homage, neat though. Leon, beware of the Frenchmen in Quebec. No one knows their politics. Leslie says, I agree with you, Craig. Ladies like to take things on and off. Yeah, there you go. And there's no shame in having a solid gold quartz stunner dress watch, ladies' dress watch. There's no shame in that. Let's see. It's very rare watch. Okay. Watches. Carlos says, my wife usually complains on the short duration of the battery of her mechanical watches. She loves the watches, but in a different way than me. Yeah, you need to make sure you wind those for her and set it, before you give it to her to put on, to go out. I think that's your job, Carlos. Eduardo, let's see, probably still pick that gold Oyster Perpetual over the move. Okay. Don't forget about the winger. Oh, yeah, I have a winger sitting around here. Yeah, I do. Triforce Rich. Carlos, many women prefer quartz. My fiance can't be bothered setting the time or date, so a quartz makes sense. She doesn't bother setting the time on her Rolex. Yep, that's right. We're certainly on our way to a... Bree says we're certainly on our way to a mission like James Bond. There you go. That's right. Absolutely. In motion, making things happen. That's right. And Brass Razzo, Craig, could you talk a little bit about opioids and the opioid crisis? I don't think you ever covered that. Still a huge issue all over. I mean, it falls into that category of, here's the photo from Kyle. Let me pull this up. It falls into that category of people making self-destructive decisions, right? I mean, maybe it's that watch is stunning. That watch is stunning. Can you imagine? Look at that thing. That thing is gorgeous. I mean, in some ways, I do like the Jubilee over the President bracelet. I have to say, that is absolutely stunning. I mean, look at that thing. What can you say? What can you say? That is stunning. But yeah, the opioid thing, I mean, it falls into this category of why do people make choices that are self-destructive so often? Is it too much time on their hands? They don't have something constructive to do? They have low self-esteem? I think part of it is the education system is terrible. The teachers, their hands have been tied behind their back. They can't discipline the children, right? Heaven forbid they discipline the children. And of course, the parents at home aren't disciplining them because they're both working. It's a big problem, the way these kids are being raised or not raised. It's a big problem. A big problem. And that's just one of the symptoms of it, the opioid thing. There's a lot of things they're doing, a lot of different types of self-destructive behavior that they're doing. And self-medicating is just one of those things. We've already talked about the food, that problem, the food they're choosing to eat, right? No, people are not forcing this stuff down their throats. These people are choosing to eat this stuff, right? They're putting poison in their bodies, not just the opioids, but literally the food they're choosing to eat is more like poison than food. Anyway, we're not going to get into all that. We got to try to be a little more positive on this channel. Mr. Q says, Carlos, exactly that. She has some vintage Oris automatic and vintage Swatch automatic, so not easy to send her to quartz camp, even with gold. Okay. Caller says, yes, they look watches on a different way. By the way, there seems to have more sense. Yes. Eduardo, what I meant was, do you leave your watches in a display box at your house when you're not using them, or do you leave them in a bank safe? Um, well, I mean, I'd really rather not say on a public show where I put my watches when I'm not wearing them. I don't think that would be very smart. But but yeah, my watches are safe when I'm not wearing them. They're not necessarily in a safe. They might be, but yeah, I'd rather not get into my security measures here on a live show. I don't think that would be wise. But I have there's extensive security here. I'll put it that way. Uh, so yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Truffers Rich, it's so sad yet funny in an ironic way that people are freaked out about the virus but are obese beyond belief. People have zero long-term thinking. And Tim's in the house. Leslie, my mom has a white dial quartz watch with a white ceramic bracelet. She has had it for 15 years and she didn't realize it was 100-meter water resistant until I told her and she could keep it on. There you go. And Bree says, very true, tree. Yep. And let's see, Traverse Rich. I think it's like when they order meal all unhealthy, but last drink is sugar free, which means it cancels out all the bad other. And also, by the way, those diet drinks are very bad for you too. Those are not good for you either. They're not a good move either. Refit Dance Day. We should teach them to think long term or future prediction. Yeah, I mean, and Bree is starting to think long term. She's holding Bitcoin long term, and she says she's got a strong hand. She's not going to sell, so she's starting to think long term. She's starting to think about investments. She's already, very concerned with her health and fitness. So she's a youngster that is thinking long term. Why can't others? Let's see. Refit Dance, I think not everyone can change and not everyone can be a hero. There you go. That's a good point. That's a good point. Especially if they're not raised properly and they're not taught properly. Kyle's in the house. We should pull up the Crador website and confirm they have nothing worth purchasing. I don't think all Cradors are bad. I don't think many of them are sold in the U.S. I don't think, I know Steve's had a couple of them, but they're kind of hard to get in the U.S., I think. Try for a switch. No way, President's greater than Jubilee. After having the date, no doubt about that. I've had Jubilee bracelets and I've had the President bracelet. Now, I've not had a solid gold Jubilee, but the Jubilee, there's something about it. It's a good-looking bracelet. They're both stunners. I mean, it's almost a coin flip to me. They're both absolute stunners. Kevin D's in the house. Is Vince a good poker player? Eduardo, Brett has a nicer watch than whatever the other guy is wearing. Okay. Leslie's in the house. Kevin D. I'm not sure if Brett plays poker with Vince. Okay. Eduardo, I believe if the protesters and rioters had protested and rioted as hard as they did against drugs, USA could be much different. Yeah, I mean, again, a lot of these people are very misguided. They don't think things through. They don't realize that they're, in effect, shooting themselves in the foot. We talked about the other day, the feds are going after a bunch of these folks. And a bunch of them are going to get knocks on the door, at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and they're going to get arrested. A lot of these folks have screwed their entire lives up by making these poor decisions. It's downhill from there, right? You don't, when you're getting ready to run a marathon, right? When you're getting ready to run a marathon, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. It's not a good thing to do before you're getting ready to run a marathon. And that's in effect what these people are doing to their lives. These young people are ruining their lives before they even get started, okay? By doing these things, by making these decisions. It's a damn shame because there's so many opportunities. So many opportunities. Traverse Rich, I remember a high school counselor got fired the year after I graduated because a kid went in his face and started cussing him out and acting out. He slapped him. Society has got it wrong. There you go. Bree and Leslie are beautiful women, as you know. As you and I know, being in our 6th decade, time has a way of doing a number on men and women. Having attended my 50th high school reunion, lots of thin, cute girls went south. Well, they don't take care of themselves. They don't choose to take care of themselves, and they let themselves go. It's very sad. It's a damn shame, I think. But it takes work to take care of yourself. It takes time, effort, and work. It's just like anything else. You get what you put into it. And a lot of people just aren't willing to put in the work. They're not willing to put in the work to have a good, solid income, and then to save and invest and to do these things. It takes time, effort, and work. And I guess some of them just aren't willing to do that. That's just the way that works out. But orders in the house understood. I ask because I've been considering getting insurance for my rotation. I've heard that having a bank deposit box and self-insuring is another good option. Thoughts? Well, a lot of it depends, Eduardo, on the risk factors. Where you are, what is the real risk of somebody breaking into your place and taking the watch? I would just weigh the risk factors and then decide, do I think it's worth it to buy the insurance? Insurance companies make money, right? Because generally speaking, whatever they're insuring against doesn't happen, right? That's why they're betting that it isn't going to happen, that your watch is not going to get stolen, right, or whatever. And usually they come out ahead. So now there are a lot of people that swear by it that say you absolutely should have insurance. That, again, you just have to weigh what you think the risks are. Like if you wear the watch a lot and you go in dicey areas, where you might get robbed and somebody might take the watch, then that would be a reason to insure it, right? If your house itself is at risk being broken into or whatever, and then, yeah, I mean, you should definitely do it. You have to figure out what you think the risk is. Every situation, every individual is going to be different on all that, right? Archie's show today is titled Tudor Black Bay is a Winner. Okay. When is his show? Carlos says Panama is ruling virtual school until at least December. We are seriously considering to enroll our son in a boarding school in Switzerland. I don't blame you, Carlos. I don't blame you. Triforce Rich, by the way, Craig, that 002 looks superb with your outfit. I'm happy you found the perfect watch for yourself. The 231 is a great companion, but that 005 is being wasted. Yeah, if somebody made an offer on the 005, I would let it go. I would let it go. I absolutely would. I'm just not wearing it. If I start doing more traveling after this COVID thing is over and I started doing more traveling, I might wear it some, but right now it's just on the bench. It really is on the bench. So a reasonable offer, that thing would probably go down the road, but I'm not actively advertising it or anything. But you're right, Triforce. This 002 is a wrist hog. It's a wrist hog. Mr. Q, blue light, aka bright screens, depleting melatonin, and overloading cortisol are the most amazing contributions to crazy people, both young and old. Food choices from the excess exposure at nighttime. Okay. Okay, I hear you. Carlos, Kim Jong-un, the North Korean dictator, was sent to Switzerland for boarding school. Your son will meet many future leaders, I'm sure. There you go. There you go. Absolutely. And Peter says, I know very rich people. They only realized what is wrong when son went main TV set at home and sold to buy heroin. So not worth be focused on chasing money, then years of locked rehabs. Well, here's the thing. I mean, once these people get on this stuff, it is a real problem. I've known people that have gotten on the opioids, and it is a big, big problem. And some of them just cannot shake it. Some of them just totally ruins their lives. They can't shake it. It's very, very sad. Very sad. Carlos, that's a good decision. I recommend looking at Bern over Zurich or, okay. Online learning is really bad for kids under 17. Okay. LOL, that seems a better investment now. Okay. Bern international schools are mostly diplomats' kids, though, because it's the Swiss capital, so all the embassies are there. Okay. Tim, well, I never had a hangover before I ran. Well, I never had a hangover before I ran a marathon. Okay. Let's see. Thank you for advice. We're looking at it. Okay. All right. There you go. Can your son speak French? Not a word. He's bilingual, Spanish and English. Okay. A lot of their curriculum is in French. Of course, I'm sure there are some institutions in German, English as well. Did you get in touch with some of them? Well, he can learn French. He's young enough to learn another language. That would be good too. Greetings from Orange County, California. I'm considering ordering some Russell moccasins based on your show. I'm not sure about spring drives though. Well, you will love the Russell moccasins. You will love, I don't know if you've ever had a pair of really comfortable moccasin construction style shoes, but you will love them. Let's see if I can find the ones that I recommended for Carlos. Yeah, here we go. I believe that's the one there on the left, that 3 eyelet one there. Let me see, I have a, yeah, there's a picture. That is a stunner. I think that's a stunner in bison. That would hold up great. The only thing I would do is I would see if they'd be willing to make that with brass eyelets instead of those painted eyelets. I think it'd be cooler. Either way, it would work. But yeah, you get any pair from them made to order, and you're gonna love them. You're gonna absolutely love them. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, that 231 spring drive right there is amazing as well. Get both. Get both the spring drive. Here's another spring drive, by the way. See that second hand? Get both. That's what you do. And we're going to wrap this up pretty soon here. Let's see here. Eduardo says my town is quite safe, but the larger city is getting a bit dicey. I'm planning get them appraised and insured. Quote, if it's $200 a year, I think it's not too bad. Yeah, see what it is. And yeah, for peace of mind, it's probably going to be worth it. We are just starting the process. The idea would be to continue with international. Okay, all right. Kyle Jet. Craig, I've just sent another email of a date just. All right, we'll pull it up. We will pull it up. Let's go back to the stunners while I do that. Man, an hour flies fast when you're having fun, doesn't it? An hour blows by pretty quick. And here's one with a black dial. Pretty cool. 6-digit watch. That's a good looking dial. That's a nice watch. I'm not a huge fan of steel and gold, but on a date just, it works. It really does. Look at that hidden clasp bracelet. That is pretty cool. And I'll tell you what, in my opinion, that's a lot of watch for the money. That's a lot of watch for the money, folks. Where is it? It's in Branson, Missouri. That's pretty cool. That's a good find. That is, I would rather have that than a freaking steel sports model any day of the week. Any day of the week. That's a real Rolex right there. Let's see here. Okay, let's blow through these real quick. I'm grateful that my doctor didn't prescribe me opioids when I fractured my wrist. I hear you. Some people can take them and don't get hooked on them, right? But some people just get hooked. Trevor's Rich, people focus too much on street drugs when the real drugs are the prescription pharmaceuticals. Those are legit. Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't take any of that crap. I don't want to take any of those medications. The hell with them. Stay the hell away from me. I don't want to be sitting there taking 10 pills every day and all this nonsense. I'm not going to get on that bandwagon. I'm just not going there. The heck with them. Let's see. Hong Kong used to be a great option for schools, but only Switzerland is about the only place left. Poland may come back as a good place for kids soon. Okay. Hong Kong is on its ass. Soon China takes over there. Other countries are currently opening refugee options for Hong Kong citizens. Yeah, that's a shame, everything that's going on there. Poland, Warsaw, very good. Strict education, and shame if not educated enough. Okay. Craig, I was looking between Sperry, Made in Maine, Rancourt, Eastland, and Russell for boat shoes. Your preference? Boat shoes. Probably Rancourt or the Made in Maine collection if you can find them. You might be able to find some new old stock ones. I don't think they make them there anymore. They did for several years. They stopped a few years ago, right? But you might be able to find some new old stock. What I would do, Mr. Q, is I would do some searches on eBay. I would search, if you still wear 11D, I would put 11D made in USA boat shoes and see what comes up and see if you can find something that's like new old stock. But a lot of those, there's a company called, I think it's called Midland Shoe Company or something up in Maine that makes a lot of those shoes for some of those companies. But yeah, Russell is really good, but they're not as much for the boat shoe type of thing. But I think they do make a model. They do make a boat shoe model, but I would probably head towards some of the others for a straight up boat shoe. But for something like the shoe I just showed you, definitely Russell. So yeah, I would do some noodling around. I have a bunch of pairs and I have a bunch of videos here on my channel of all of the above. So check those videos out and you're on the right track. Let's see, Carla. And by the way, there's some ones that were, I think they were made by Rancourt and Company that were Ralph Lauren branded, that were Telford, I think was the name on them, that are made in the USA, that there were a bunch of those being sold new old stock because they stopped making them in the USA and they were getting rid of all those. So you might find some of them bumping around. So I would look. I've got videos on all the above here on the channel. Look at my Made in USA playlist. Go there and look at that, and you'll see a lot of a lot of options. Let's see. Let's see, Kalja. What is box only? I actually am driving, so I can't look too closely. Well, box only means they don't have papers, right? Box and papers would be, they'd have the papers with it too, right? I guess that's what you're talking about. Craig, do you think Chairman Z or X is a BTC holder? Who knows? But if they're smart, yeah. I think we have social stigma instead. Left fits warning, like herd knowledge, drugs equals losing life. Okay, yeah, but some people legitimately need the doctor prescribed pills, but there are stupid folks that abuse them. Yeah, but if you take care of yourself, if you eat right and exercise, get rest and all that, you're going to need very few medications, if any. Now, if you're unfortunate enough to be a type 1, I guess, diabetic, then, then maybe think, But most of the things that ail people can be taken care of with exercise and proper diet. You'd be surprised what medications you can avoid if you really take good care of yourself. Let's see here. Funny thing is that if your AD offers you a stainless steel Pepsi, you'd jump on it, Craig. You know that. Or the Batgirl would make a great watch. I think either would be the perfect sport watch for you. Triforce Rich. I don't know if I think the only way I would buy it is if I'm pretty sure I could resell it for a profit, because I've been spoiled by the accuracy of the 231. I don't think I can go back to Rolex for my sport watch. I don't think I can, Triforce Rich. 231 is functionality great, but lacks in dressy elegance, while the GMTs bridge the gap. But see, I don't need the dressy elegance. When I'm wearing the 231, I want a straight-up sport watch, and it looks great. It looked great in that video the other day when I did that video of me eating the barbecue. It looked great. And then when I want something dressy, I go to the 002. I mean, I've got that covered, right? So I don't think I need something in between. I really don't. And I can wear this 002 with jeans or with khakis. As long as I'm wearing a nice shirt, right? And a nice belt, I can wear this with anything. And why the hell would I step down to a Pepsi or something like that when I can wear this stunner, right? So no, I don't think so. Look, Jordan Peterson, what happened to him? And he is clinical psychiatrist. He did see addicts and work with them. Okay. I mean, obviously there are exceptions to every rule, right? But do the best you can. Take the best care of yourself that you can. And then if for some reason things do go sideways, then okay, cross that bridge when you come to it. But I'm saying that for a lot of people, it ain't going to go sideways. You're going to be fine. Exercise is so important, and a lot of people don't get decent exercise every day. Mr. Q's in the house, a beacon of hope for this century. How about Viagra, Craig? Should that be avoided? Well, I mean, I guess if you need it, go for it, right? I don't have any experience with it yet, so yeah, you may need that, but I don't know. It's a good question. I haven't researched it to know what the side effects and what the downsides are. But yeah, I would certainly look into all that before you start popping pills. Thank you, Mr. Q. They do a great job. Okay. T-Town, exercise and proper diet can help deal with those issues, Rich. It helps a lot. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. Speaking of proper diet, I'm getting ready to go get a bite to eat. And let's speaking of proper diet again, let's show Bree's page on the way out here, so you guys can go to her page and sign up and follow her on social media, and learn a little bit about fitness and health and beauty and all that good stuff. And there she is eating a slice of pizza, which you can do that occasionally. You can do that occasionally. And do click subscribe. And click the little bell so you'll get notifications. And Carlos says, Pepsi is very nice watch to Maya's, but Craig would need a lobotomy to swap 231 and 005 for it. There you go. Good point. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And Carlos, thank you for calling in. And we will do it again.